Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Aishah Ashraf from Muslim Network TV, and today we're in Toronto for the Muslim International Film Festival. This event is being held from November 29th to December 3rd for a total of 5 days celebrating Muslim talent from around the world. With 5 feature films, 15 short films, and a chance to network with industry professionals, believe it or not, this is only the 5th edition of MIFF, and it's the biggest one yet. Let's have a chat with attendees, featured creatives, and MIFF team members to see what's in store for this year's festival. So what brings you to MIFF 2024?
A really good friend of mine, his sister was actually helping run it, but I also just love film, and he was like, I know you would enjoy this, and being South Asian, it was just really cool to be part of something and see it happen like this.
And why do you think it's important to have those specific pockets for people of minorities and of different backgrounds?
I feel like what one of the presenters said is that she would go to all these festivals and she was the only person that was Muslim in the room. And it sucks to hear stuff like that because we have so much to offer in so many different cultures and backgrounds that, yeah, it's important to be multicultural and mixed, but also watching that, we understand, like they were saying, like the color of the chai, like all those little things matter, and it's things that we would relate to. So I think it's important to showcase that to us, but then for us to share it to the world.
And we just had a screening of The Glassworker by Usman Riaz. What did you think about that?
That was so good, and I'm happy I stayed back to hear him talk about it, and it being like a 10-year process and just all the hard work that he's put into it. I thought it was a really, really great story. I love anime, so it was really cool to see it not in Japanese, which was so different, and it threw me off sometimes because I was like, wait, what? I could hear them speaking and understand it, but I also was reading a bit. Yeah, it was really cool.
All right, I think that's good. Thank you so much. So you are the co-founder and CEO of MIFF. So tell me how the idea came to be 5 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So MIFF was an idea that kind of was sitting with me for a couple of years after I traveled to a bunch of film festivals for the documentary film that I was working on. The documentary film was essentially a film about Afghan women running their first marathon in Afghanistan. And I noticed that a lot of the times I was the only Muslim in the room, as well as the way that the film was being perceived was not the way that I was hoping for it to be. There were some tropes of Islamophobia that people were perceiving the film to be, even though that was not the intention for it to be. And I realized one of the reasons for that was because it was a film that was not being presented to a Muslim audience, and there were Muslim themes in there, and that's why I realized that we needed to have a space where there are Muslim stories being told by Muslims and being celebrated and being curated to Muslim audiences as well. So a festival for Muslims by Muslims, essentially. And we started in January of 2020, and then we got hit with the pandemic in March, but alhamdulillah, we still pulled through. We are a team of problem solvers. We had our first 2 years as a drive-in film festival, and that pretty much got the word out. In the last 3 years, alhamdulillah, we've been striving. Today is our 5th year, and we had our opening night, and it was a sold-out show, so alhamdulillah.
Yeah, mashallah, that's amazing. And what does it mean for you personally as a co-founder of this to see it go from a drive-in screening 2 years in a row to now seeing it be a 5-day festival?
I just got goosebumps as you said that. I didn't realize how, every single year as we're doing this festival, even let's say with the drive-in, the first year we had about 80 cars, the second year we had about 180 cars. So every year the numbers have been doubling, not only in audience, it's in the submissions of films, in sort of our social media outreach. And I'm realizing that it's not just because of the work that we're doing, but it's also because of the need. Every single year our numbers are doubling. That's insane for a small organization like us that's just started about 5 years ago, but it goes to show how much of a need it is for our community, how much our Muslim community and especially our Muslim film community is yearning for a space like this, and I owe it all to the community at the end of the day.
And if anyone knows MIFF inside and out, it's you. So what's something that you look forward to every year, maybe this year in particular?
I think every single year, because we've been doing the opening nights for a while, I think it's almost every year I'm very excited to see the films in terms of what themes they're capturing. So this year, for example, as I said in my opening night speech, a lot of the themes were not the happiest, unfortunately, but I think it reflects the year that we've had. And then even the year before that, I think sometimes you see a little bit more happier, or you see themes that are about specific issues that are happening in the Muslim community. And I think it's really nice to see that in real time, even though it's about a year. but it's within that year you kind of be able to reflect on all the films and all of the thoughts and all the writing processes of what the filmmaker is feeling that year, and it's reflected on the screen. So that's my favorite part, and of course I really appreciate the aspect of the festival where we have conversations as well as celebrate other artists. So we had those opening night performances. Stand-up comedian was great. Every year we make a spotlight for that too, so it's not just film, it's art overall.
Yeah, I think you've done an amazing job, and I created such an amazing space for Muslim creatives, and I can't wait to see how it continues to grow over the years.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, so what brings you to MIFF 2024?
I was performing this year alongside Anis Hassan and Amin Belzahar. So we opened the show with a little concert, yeah.
And how did that go?
Alhamdulillah, it went really well. The crowd was awesome. MIFF set up a really awesome venue and a night, like the whole night was really well set up. It's beautiful here. I don't know if you can see what's going on, but it was awesome. The venue was awesome. The crew was awesome. Yeah, it was great. Alhamdulillah. Great experience. It's actually hard to find, I'm not gonna lie, can I be honest?
Yeah.
It's hard to find Muslim organizations and Muslim events that work to a certain level of ihsan with what they're trying to do and then elevate the rest of the community, especially in the arts. And I've been making music for like 14 years, so I've seen a bunch of different stages of it. And so this MIFF event was special.
Yeah, so I actually saw you guys perform at the Oscars as well this year in Edmonton.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another band.
Yeah, so why do you think it's important, going off of your point, why do you think it's important to have those Muslim-centered spaces?
Oh, so many reasons. The biggest one that, like, the easiest way to say it is that we've spent a long time as Muslims fighting and combating the narrative that's put forth about us in the media and in movies and film and entertainment, everything. Especially now with the genocide going on, the rhetoric just around Muslims and Arabs and the Muslim nation in general is so skewed. And if you know anything about how communities and nations are built, they thrive when the arts thrive, historically. So when you have the artists and creatives being able to take our own stories and tell them for ourselves and take back that narrative that they've created for us in the media and just own that, I think that's really how you genuinely and authentically make change. When you just don't let other people tell your stories. So these events and organizations allow us to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfectly said. Thank you so much. So what brings you to MIFF 2024?
Well, this film actually, the opening film has had such a buzz. It's been really impressive, like worldwide, and I just had to see what it's all about. I'm a big fan of Studio Ghibli, and so is the director. It's the inspiration behind making such like Pakistan's first animation film, and this is like really a pioneer that we're seeing, and who's going to be in the footsteps of Miyazaki. Hopefully, like to learn from him. So it's great to see, like, big fan of Miyazaki, Del Toro, and others that he's mentioned, and I think he's on to something here. So like it's Pakistan's official submission to the Oscars, and I think there's a potential that it would be accepted, and we hope that he wins, inshallah.
And why do you think it's important to have Muslim-centered spaces like this?
It's a good place for filmmakers to also gather, as well as to learn from each other, because there isn't a really platform. MIFF has provided that platform for Muslim filmmakers to come together who enjoy film, and we haven't seen that, and what a great city like Toronto to do that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, so what brings you to MIFF 2024?
I'm really passionate about seeing other Muslim creators and supporting my own community, and just really taking in what our people can do when we have the resources.
And why do you think it's important to have Muslim-centered spaces like this?
I think it's important because we've spent a long time in the West not having our voices heard, and we finally have the opportunities and the means to have that platform, and so we should take advantage of it and let people know what we stand for.
Yeah, and we just saw a screening of The Glassworker by Usman Riaz. What did you think about that?
I was really moved by it. I've never seen Pakistani animation. My family's Pakistani as well, so I was really impressed by just kind of the mix of East Asian and Western and also Pakistani influence, and it felt like it was speaking very much to me, and I was really blown away.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So this is Pakistan's first hand-drawn 2D animated film. What led you to pursue this form of storytelling in particular?
The answer is very simple. I love this craft more than anything in the world, and it requires a lot of obsession and passion to make something like this. And I'm very grateful I got to work with a remarkable team in Pakistan and a remarkable team internationally to bring it to life. And I'm so grateful that people are coming out and enjoying it. That means the world to me.
And speaking of obsession and passion, I hear it took you 10 years to make this film. What went into all of that?
A lot of hard work, a lot of obsession, like I said earlier. I did not think it would take 10 years to make something like this, but I was young, I was 23, I was very naive, and I'm glad I was, because that certainly helped me get through this entire decade to make this. But yeah, a lot of people worked very, very hard. And I worked extremely, extremely hard to bring this to life, and it means a lot to me to be able to share it with the wonderful people here, and I'm so grateful that the festival organizers invited me here and I got to share it with everybody.
And now you've been longlisted for the 2025 Academy Awards. Congratulations on that. How does it feel to be able to put Pakistan on a global stage like that?
Thank you so much. It's surreal, because I never imagined an animated film from Pakistan would be our official entry to the 2025 Oscars, to be longlisted in the international category with so many amazing feature films, and to be longlisted for the animation category. It means a lot to me. I joke with all the journalists that I've spoken to that I'm not even the underdog in this race. I'm the flea that lives on the underdog. But come this far, have to try as hard as I can.
Well, we love a good underdog story. And what would you tell to all the Muslim aspiring filmmakers in the world who want to pursue their dreams?
I would tell them, never give up. It's going to be hard. I wish somebody had told me how difficult it would be when I started. And I would say that no matter what happens, just know that you're on the right path. God has put you on that path for a reason. See it through to the end. Work as hard as you can. Give it your best. And then it's all up to Him. So have faith.
Yeah, it was 10 years in the making, but it definitely paid off. Congratulations on all the success. It's a fantastic film.
I'm honored. Thank you very, very much.
As we can see, MIFF 2024 has been a huge success, and it's a tribute to Muslim creatives and everything that they're capable of. We can't wait to see where MIFF goes next. For Muslim Network TV, this has been Aishah Ashraf.